You're watching Car Coach Reports with Lauren Fix on CBT News.
The 2026 Kia Sportage is roomy, comfortable, and in a very large group of crowded, entertaining SUVs. This is Kia's #1 selling vehicle. However, there are a lot of changes for 2026 you're going to want to know about. A reworked front and rear bumpers, as well as LED headlights that are stacked. Really cool looking, and it's LED taillights as well as amber driving lights. New S and X line trim levels, more standard safety across the full lineup, new drivetrain off-road modes, which makes this vehicle off-roadable, although most people aren't going to off-road it, let's be honest. Under the hood of the Sportage, there are 3 engine choices. You can get a traditional gas-powered vehicle, which is made here in West Point, Georgia. It has more horsepower, 187 horsepower, 8-speed automatic transmission, which you can get front-wheel drive on the base. All the rest of the lineup is all-wheel drive. 0 to 60 time is 9.1 seconds. Fuel economy, 25 miles to the gallon in the city or 32 in the highway. Under the hood of our test vehicle is a hybrid engine, which is a really good choice because you're going to get more power from this 1.6-liter hybrid engine, 232 horsepower, 271 pound-feet of torque with a 44 kilowatt-hour electric traction motor. That's going to be all-wheel drive across the lineup. 6-speed automatic transmission, 0 to 60 times 7.4 seconds, so it's faster. 2,000-pound towing capacity, fuel economy up to 40 miles to the gallon. You can get more if you're going on the highway. This is the best of the choices. You can still buy a plug-in hybrid if you wish to have that electrified option. It's going to give you more range. It's still that 1.6-liter engine, and it's got a larger battery, so that gives you 7 more horsepower, 6-speed automatic transmission, 34 miles of electric driving range. That gives you a total range of 430 miles, which is quite a bit. What's most important about the Kia Sportage is the warranty. 10 years, 100,000 miles, or 5 years, 60,000 miles on the powertrain. There is no scheduled maintenance. Some of the competitors do offer that. Again, you got to read all the details. And if you choose the plug-in hybrid, it's going to have a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, so you don't have to worry about replacing that battery down the road. You're going to notice this front end is different. It doesn't have that tiger or shark front end, but it is the opposites attract styling. So it's got a black grille, matte silver, and of course the Kia logo here in the middle. It looks different, and it is different, both inside and out. On the side of this vehicle, it's completely different, including new exterior colors. This is the SX Prestige, so it's the top of the line. It's going to have all the features you want. It can ride on 17-inch or 19-inch alloys. Our test vehicle is on 19-inch alloys. They're also on all-season tires. Different wheel designs also for different trim levels. Again, that entry-level LX, S, and then all the way up to the SX Prestige. It's going to cost you more at the top end, but the entry-level price, that's where the sweet spot is for the Kia Sportage. Huge glass sunroof with the top portion pushes back. It is power. The vehicle is really nice. It's got puddle lamps, black trim throughout, and the vehicle itself has been updated both inside and out. Inside, the interior is just as impressive. On our test car, we have the light gray with 2 types of material, a suede material here, a leatherette material, not real leather, but it is heated and vented, and that's huge, and you can get second row heated seats. You'll notice that the headrests are different. Even the steering wheel, which is leather wrapped and standard and flat bottoms, so it's easier to get in and out of the vehicle. The vehicle is very tech forward. 2 12.3-inch screens, which are standard. They're curved, they're driver focused, and that's really important. Inside, you're going to see all this horizontal venting, ambient lighting, which is nice. People love the ambient lighting. They want to personalize these vehicles to be whatever they want. Some of the changes for 2026 include standard Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, as well as navigation. In addition, you've got a 10-inch head-up display, which is fantastic, and Smart Park, which means you can pull this in and out of tight parking spots. And then use Kia Connect, which is an app on your phone. You can start the vehicle, you can locate your vehicle, and of course all the rest of the connectivity, which includes Wi-Fi hotspot, wireless charging. You get your heated and ventilated seats here, 2-stage heated steering wheel, and then of course your controls are standard of what you would expect. What's different for this SX Prestige is there is a terrain mode as well as a drive mode. We'll show you that in the drive portion in just a minute, so stay with us. And then, of course, all the auto-hold hill descent as well as cameras are all here, and that camera is crystal clear. In the second row, there is more legroom than the competitors. That's a big plus, especially with child safety seats, which would go on the outboard seating. One thing you don't hear about a lot that I think is really important is behind these seats is a spot where you can hang your purse, your bag, those plastic bags you get stuff from the grocery store and then it rolls all over the trunk. You can hang those here and it's rubberized so it holds it there, as well as a hook here. Again, more places to hang things when you bring home eggs, berries, a bottle of wine, whatever it might be. There's also pockets behind each of these seats and a charge port behind the passenger seat, which is pretty standard for the Kia lineup. Also in the second row is heated seats. The button for that is on the door along with the window lifts. Seats fold down 60/40, cup holders that are built in, which I appreciate versus the plastic ones that you fold up because they always get broken over time. You, of course, can put someone in the third row. There is charging ports in the second row as well. Well thought out, and the key to this is this vehicle is a family-friendly vehicle, and behind these seats, there is a ton of storage. Across the back, you've got new LED taillights, which look really great. HEV means it's the hybrid version, so hybrid electric. It's a combination of both Sportage here and this matte silver. One thing that Kia has done, and they're carrying it across the lineup, and this is something that all the brands should do, is tuck up that rear wiper blade underneath this wing. It protects the blade, it saves you on maintenance costs, because if you live in snowy country, you're using an ice scraper, and if you're not, just the sun and the weather is going to beat it up. Integrated third brake light across the top. One of the big changes for 2026 is storage. Behind the second row, with the seats up that are 60/40 split, you're at 40 cubic feet of storage, which is more than the competitors. There's also a cargo cover, and underneath this cover is a spare tire, which a lot of the brands aren't doing because they're trying to lighten up the cars to make them have better fuel economy. It also has places for putting an emergency kit, and there's some hidden places for storage, which is really good if you leave a vehicle somewhere and you're worried about it. To fold down the seats, simple, pull the levers. That gives you a ton of storage, whether you're going to Costco or you're going on a road trip. That's excellent. There's also power outlets here and that Harman Kardon audio, which is optional. You can hear it all the way back when you got the trunk open. We're in Brandenburg, Kentucky, which is on the Ohio River. On the other side of the river is Indiana. And we did a stop at the park to give you a walk around of the vehicle, and now we're in the vehicle. One of the things that you notice right away when you get in this vehicle is it's bigger, brighter, more technology.
In a quarter-mile, turn left at the third road onto Broadway Street.
And built-in navigation, as well as Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. This is a really small town. I guess a tornado went through and took down much of the city, but left this really cool coffee shop, which we stopped at, that has been there since the 1800s. It was also a bank beforehand. So it's kind of cool if you're in Brandenburg, Kentucky, and you're looking for a cool spot. This is kind of a neat little town. I'm riding, of course, with my friend Al Vasquez. You can find him at Al Vasquez TV. He is the #1 Spanish car reviewer. So, and he's also a good friend.
And when you buy the coffee, don't eat the fish.
No. Yes, we were talking about the fish in the river. The story is, the local news is putting up, is that there's no oxygen in the water, but water is H2O, so there's two molecules of water. So it sounds like a fish story. Oh, da-dum-dump. I'll be here all week. Don't forget to tip the waitresses. The hills and the roads here are really nice. I mean, man, if I could review cars on roads like this, pretty nice. The people here are also very, very kind. And I think that's a big plus for Kentucky. And if you live there, thanks for having such a great little state. As far as the vehicle itself, its driving experience, the seating position is high. You can adjust it, of course, but big piece of glass, head-up display, 10 inches, has everything you need, not just the navigation, but your safety systems that are in here, and traffic sign recognition. And speaking of safety, 5-star crash test rating, which is the top of the line. Because when you're buying a vehicle, it's always about safety. I mean, you don't want to take your family or friends or carpooling when safety is an issue. Forward collision warning, improved detection with the cameras around you as far as forward and backward. Of course, it has smart park, which I like. Have you ever played with that?
I like it. I'm not a fan of anything autonomous, but yes.
No, not onto the autonomous. If you want that, you can buy the optional Highway Traffic Assist 2, as they call it, which will keep you in the lanes. I don't use it. I don't even use cruise control.
You saw the Mustang Mach-E video that you...
I did. I posted it.
Is that real?
That is real. That is on my Instagram account, which is @LaurenFix. And we saw a guy in a Mustang Mach-E who was literally praying behind the wheel because there was a problem. What that problem is, I don't know. We'll probably never know unless somebody's willing to talk about that, but I highly doubt that the brand is going to say anything about that. The problem with computers, you know, you sit in front of your computer every day or your phone and you say, oh, there's not going to be any problems. There's always something. I don't want to rely on autonomous vehicles, and I know they're opening it up. But as far as I'm concerned, the government regulations, the insurance, hackers, everything else, I'm passing. That is an amusement ride in my book. And if you want one of those, you can go to Disney or Six Flags or whatever you want. But when it comes to driving on the street, when you're driving a vehicle that's 4,000 pounds or more, I will control it. I want to make those decisions. So we're driving to our next stop, which is Jim Beam. If you're into that kind of liquor, I'm a tequila fan. I know you are as well. You like bourbon though too.
I like a little bit of bourbon when I come to this area only.
This
I don't
is
buy bourbon in Miami.
What do they call this? Bourbon Row or something?
Whiskey River.
Whiskey River. But this is where bourbon is from. Bourbon and whiskey is all from this area. And that is something, if you are a whiskey person, you have to come here. You get off at the airport and that's everything. It's either the university or liquor. But that's okay. You know, got to be known for something. I live in Buffalo. It's chicken wings. We have an Anchor Bar at the airport, you know. But as far as the vehicle itself and its driving, I think they did a nice balance of giving it more power. The gasoline version is going to be a little slower if that's what you want. I like the gas version that's made here in the US. This is a hybrid. It's made in Korea, as well as the plug-in hybrid. If that's the option you want, there are choices. You don't have to go gas. You can go hybrid. You can go plug-in, which will give you quite a bit of electric range. We'll drive those separately. There'll be separate reviews. As far as the vehicle itself, I love this big screen. This is huge, but you don't need more than this. I think it's the right size. All the controls below the screen are what is in the Ioniq 5 and the Ioniq 6. And that is, you press the one upper button for the navigation and your lower button for your climate controls. How often are you changing climate controls? Not too often. Below that, you've got a nice covered area which has wireless charging and, of course, 2 USB-C charge ports because everyone's switching over to C. And I have the new Apple phone, which means most of the phones, Android and Apple, are charging on USB-C unless you're on an older phone.
CarPlay is new.
Yeah, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Standard.
Yeah.
Because people complain. And that tells you that Kia listens to its customers. And I think that's really important. Most brands do. They don't always listen. They listened to me when it came to the wiper blade on the outside. They finally got some push there. One thing I wish they would do, lumbar. Driver's side has lumbar memory seat settings, which is great, 2 of them. Passenger side, how's the seat?
I don't know.
It needs lumbar.
It needs lumbar.
It does. And it's not that expensive. It's like a $30 part. But I think people would pay more because when you're driving on a road trip, and I go, hey, Al, you drive, like we switch. Why should I be uncomfortable and you're comfortable? Or whoever's sitting in the passenger seat. Second row, though, was great legroom. Huge.
Oh, excellent. I liked it.
Yeah, and of course the seating materials are really nice. They're not leather, which I wish there was an option for that. There's other color interior choices based on the trim level. So certain trim levels will offer a dark sandy color like material, which is really pretty. It's one of their top trim colors. Red is supposedly available. We have not seen one with a red interior, but that would be really nice. We're all driving the same color car. So every review you look at, we're all driving the same color car. They just wanted it to be consistent, I guess. We're not fighting. But as far as the vehicle itself, I just love the visibility. I think that's great. Braking's nice balance with the performance. Just a really easy to use. If you've driven a Kia or a Hyundai before, it's very intuitive. But as far as having standard features included, including the safety, I think that's the big thing for customers. They want to be able to drive this thing, take it places, tons of storage. You're going to Costco or whatever. It's big back there. But overall, I really like it. What do you think?
I really like it. I really like that the design is completely different. They made it brand new. The wheel flap top, flap bottom. I like that a lot.
That's really nice.
Yeah, I like it.
Leather. This is the only leather in the car, right here on the steering wheel.
There you go.
We like leather interiors. But overall, it's just nice. They did a nice job. I think just all the details, they really thought about who's using it. And I think that's super important, like ambient lighting, little things that people like that make them love this car.
I really like it more than the Hyundai version of this car.
Yes.
And they're selling almost 1 million Kias, which is
that's crazy.
a lot.
Of this is their #1 selling model.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But overall, nice glass roof, It has a cover on it. I mean, they really thought about all the details. And what could they add other than lumbar on the passenger side? That's probably
complete.
Yeah,
Nice.
I think they did a nice job. Little details. I saw a product called the Bag Fix, which goes between the headrest posts so you can hang your bags. They have them integrated to the headrests and back because there's always someone in the second row or you eggs or whatever and you got no place to put them. Hang them in back. I think that's really smart details that make it consumer friendly. So your feedback is actually taken and used in this car. And that's why it's worth taking it for a test drive if you're looking for a vehicle in this category.
It's a good choice.
Yep. So let's talk about the prices and the long list of competitors. The competitor list for the Kia Sportage, it's quite a long list, and I highly recommend you test drive all of them. We've reviewed them on our Car Smarts channel, so check that out. The Honda CR-V, which is the #1 in the category, the Mazda CX-50, the Volkswagen Tiguan, the Chevrolet Equinox, the Toyota RAV4, which is a very popular vehicle as well, Ford Escape, Hyundai Tucson, which is a sister car to this vehicle, Nissan Rogue, Subaru Forester, and the Mitsubishi Outlander. The key to this vehicle is the price, and that's where I think it really shines. For the gas version, starts at $28,000 and goes up to $39,500. You want the hybrid, like our test vehicle, $30,290 to start, all the way up to the top trim level, which we're showing you here is $40,390. And if you choose to go with the plug-in, because you want that electric range and it works for you, starting at $40,500 and goes up to $47,000. The 2026 Kia Sportage has improved so much over the previous generation. It's got more room, more technology, and more performance, and tons of options for consumers. Take one for a test drive. I'm Lauren Fix for CBT News.
Thanks for watching Car Coach Reports on CBT News.